Good evening, everyone. This is Pradeep once again with our 11th session on Microsoft Excel in this 15 days, 15 webinar series. It's a pleasure to have you all in this session. Before I get started, once again, my humble request to each one of you to go to PM's Care website, that is pmcares.gov.in, and make some donation. If you want to go to that website using this QR code, it will be easier for you. You can scan this QR code on your mobile and go to this website and make some donation. Here, the organization doesn't matter, but the act of kindness does. So please make sure that you make some donation either to PM Care or any other NGO or non-government organization of your choice. So thank you very much, friends, for that in advance. Now going ahead, this is, like I mentioned, 11th session on Microsoft Excel. Today is 26th and we have 4 more sessions to go. And yesterday I forgot to mention the good news, but today I'm going to mention the good news, and Prashant will be sharing one link with all of you in just next 10 minutes. Now here, friends, few announcements. Like I mentioned, we will be sending our emails using the same ID, pradeep@techandtraining.biz. We are sending a lot of practice files to each one of you. Make sure that you add this email address on your contact list so that you don't receive the emails. I have lately received one concern that few people are not receiving emails or the practice files. As I mentioned, either your IT department might have blocked these emails, or your emails might have landed in spam, or you have not registered with our online form. So Prashant is creating 2 links. One is to register. If you're not receiving emails and practice files, Prashant is going to send you, or you can go to the registration page that we have already sent to you and register with your personal email IDs. Might as well your official email ID is blocked by your IT department. Yeah. One more thing, our videos are available on this URL, which is tinyurl.com/15 days webinar. On this URL, you will find each and every session recordings. If you have missed any session, please do go to this channel and watch the videos. We are sorry, yesterday's videos have still not been published, but my backend team is working on it, and it will be uploaded and live before we end this webinar. Because of some copyright issues, because yesterday when I showed a couple of videos which had Bollywood songs, because of that it suspected that it's a copyright claim. So we are just removing those things and we are going ahead and re-uploading the entire video. Because of that, we could not upload it till now. One good news, friends, before I go ahead and talk about the good news, this is a brief introduction about myself. I am Pradeep, and I would like you to go through this slide, and simultaneously I will request you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel. One thing that I would request is the playlist that we have has got all the recordings. Please do go to those playlists and watch the videos, and please do get in touch with me on LinkedIn on this profile link. So friend, this is a one-way communication. I can't hear what you're talking about. So if you have to ask any question, please use our Q&A panel. My colleagues are responding to your questions, and if there are certain questions which should be taken into the session, then I will go ahead and answer those questions maybe in the middle or towards the end of the program. And at the end, please do give the feedback. And friends, yesterday, like I mentioned, we are not going to end this relationship on 30th of April. So let me tell you that Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai has agreed to speak on relevance of technology in Chanakya strategies. So we are dealing with all these technology things, and technology has become extremely important. So I have requested Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai to come and address the audience. Let me give you his introduction. He is one of the best-selling authors. He is the author of the famous book Chanakya Niti. So far, he has published n number of books completely on Chanakya philosophy. If you talk about his status, he is in the line of Devdas Patnaik and other renowned spiritual authors. And he is coming live on the same channel 1st of May 2020. The link is going to be shared by Prashant, and I would request each one of you to register to that session. This is something different, but it is going to be a mind-blowing experience. Let me give you complete assurance from my side. I have not disappointed you till now. This is 11th session and I am not going to disappoint you further as well. So Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai is a sought after speaker and he charges very high for his speaking engagements. But let me tell you, he has honored the effort that we are putting in, and considering that effort, he has agreed to speak on pro bono. He is not charging even a single penny, and you can just go on Google and research on him. He travels across the globe to conduct speaking assignments, and it's a privilege to have him on this channel. Thank you very much, friends. I will share more details towards the end of the program, but that's it for now. So here, friends, I wish you all a very happy learning. Today's topic is Excel, which is Microsoft Excel, and that is one of my favorite topics. I have started my career with Microsoft Excel, and now this is the topic which I am going to give my heart and soul to in this session. And let me tell you, because this is a favorite topic, I have not done 1, 2, or 3 sessions, but 4 sessions back to back only on Microsoft Excel. Yeah. So I believe all of you would have received this Excel training file. See, generally the problem with this Excel training file, if you click on that link right now, it will open on Excel Online. You will have to go ahead and download this Excel file. So let me quickly show you. When you go to this particular email, here is the link to download that Excel file. When you click on that, it will open on an Excel Online OneDrive screen. I would request you to go ahead and download this file. Do not work on Excel Online because Excel Online gives you very limited feature, and we are going to go beyond that. What you can do is you can go to File, Save As, save it on your document on your screen and on your desktop, and go ahead and open it on Excel application. So I am going ahead and opening this on my Excel file. I am taking 30-second pause so that you can go to this link and download this file. Yeah, because yesterday some people said that they were not able to download it, and we quickly started very fast. So I'm just taking a pause of 30 seconds. So friends, we are going to go ahead and work on this file. Let me download the same file itself. I go ahead and click on download as copy, and I save it on my desktop. And I click yes. I'm closing this file. Let me open this, and here what are we going to learn today? So we have plenty of topics, starting with a lot of other artificial intelligence driven features. So let me start with one of the very basic features in Microsoft Excel, and that feature is nothing but dragging. When we drag Microsoft Excel, as you would already know, that we can come at the bottom right corner and we can drag it. So this time what I'm going to do is I'll just double click on it and see it gets dragged. Because it's a date, the date has changed, like 1st May, 2nd May, 3rd May, 4th May, and so on and so forth. In the next column, if I would like to change the month, what would be the process? Can anyone tell me? If I have to drag this and instead of changing the date, I want to change months. So what I need to do? See friends, how simple is it? I drag it down, and after dragging, I have 1st May 2004. All the months are here. I click on this autofill options and I check this option which says fill months, and see how easily I can change the date into months. Similarly, I drag Sunday and it becomes Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on and so forth. So I have got all these dates quickly arranged or populated using a simple trick, which is nothing but autofill options. Now, I have seen at times this autofill option could be either disabled, or your Excel is not good enough to be dragged down. You cannot drag it down because Excel does not give you that flexibility or capability. In that case, what should you do is, there is a simple process to enable this feature of autofill options. What you need to do is you need to go to File and Options. So when you go to file options here, on the left hand side, you have something called as advanced. Okay. When you go to advanced, here the third option says enable fill handle cell drag and drop. Make sure you do not uncheck it. If you uncheck it, this drag and drop feature, that is this feature that helps you to drag it, this handle is going to be disabled or removed. Then you will not be able to drag and drop it. So I repeat the process. I go to file, then options. After going to file options, I go to advanced, and here the third option from the top is enable fill handle cell drag and drop. Yeah. So when I check that box, that fill handle will be enabled. But at times, when even if that fill handle is enabled, we don't get that autofill option that we clicked on to populate other options. That happens because the cut copy paste mode is disabled. Make sure you have all these three options enabled. When you have all these three options enabled, that means your Excel will populate different options to use as a paste options. Yeah. So like I said, these options will be enabled because we have that cut copy paste mode on. All those three options should be turned on. Yeah. So friend, that was a very simple hack that I just now discussed when you drag the fields. Now let's talk about extracting data. Now, this extracting data is certainly very useful, and I did show in one of the previous sessions that we were doing, but I did not tell this to you completely. Let me show this right now. I drag this and let me talk about some people and their name. I write Sachin Ramesh Tendulkar, right? Then I type Anil Kapoor. Then I type Mohan Das Karamchand Gandhi. Then I type Amitabh Bachchan. Then let me also type one more name, that is Pradeep Devi Das Pardeshi. I'm not amongst these people, but I would like to be amongst them someday. That's the reason I've written my name. Now see, I have written 5 names, and what I would like to do is here I want to segregate first name, middle name, and last name. How would I do it? Now friends, see, these are all in one particular column. I would like to segregate it first name, middle name, and last name. Most of the people would say that they will use text to column. So let's use text to column. I select the data, I go to data tab, and here I select the option text to column. Here I'll use delimited. If you do not know what text to column is, let me tell you that I can break the text into multiple columns based on some common character which exists within the text. So here one space exists within these texts, and I can break the text into 2 columns or separate columns as soon as we find a space. So I check delimited and then I click next. Here it is asking me what character do you want to identify. I want to identify space. So see, as soon as the space is encountered, it has broken the text into separate columns. Then it asks me to go to next. Now here it is asking me where do I want. Now friends, if you're performing these steps along with me, please don't do it. Just observe here for now. It is asking me for the destination. I click on the destination, that is A2, and I click here and I click finish. I got the text separated, but see the point, something which you need to notice. Anil is correct. Kapoor is not his middle name, but that is last name. Bachchan again is not middle name. So we could separate data into multiple columns, but now that is not giving me the correct result. So that is not the solution that I would want. Let's see what is the solution. And if you remember, in my mail, I have written artificial intelligence in Excel. So this is the first step towards artificial intelligence in Excel. So what I'm going to do now, observe it carefully. I will write Sachin. The first text, Sachin. I will type it. Now after typing Sachin, I'm now writing A. A for Anil. The moment I type A, automatically you will see that it has understood what am I expecting, and it is giving me the suggestion. Do you want this? If I press enter, which I did right now, it has accepted all those suggestions. Please try it. Yeah. So what I did was I wrote Sachin completely. You're not allowed to misspell any word and do not add any additional character like space or anything. Just type as it is. So I wrote Sachin and then I typed Anil and automatically that has populated the rest of the details. Now friends, this feature that I'm showing right now is available in Excel 2013 onwards. It doesn't require to have Office 365 version, but even in Excel 2013 it is available. Yeah, this feature is called as flash fill. Yeah, now next thing, the trickiest part is middle name. When I talk about middle name, now this is the concern because some people have middle name and some people do not have middle name. So what do I do here? Let me try once again. So here I'll give you one logic. Based on that logic, you will be able to use this flash fill perfectly. So what is my logic? First thing, choose the variations, right? So what are the variations? I have 3 word name as well as 2 word names. Yeah. So these are the 2 variations. So I'm going to use those variations. And the second logic is give as many examples as you can so that it improves the accuracy. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type Ramesh. Yeah. So when I type Ramesh, it is automatically, I have typed it manually, so it has come. Now the second thing, Anil Kapoor doesn't have a middle name here. So I cannot leave that blank because I need to specify something that if there is nothing, you need to do this. So I put a dash. Yeah. Now, in my training, I've often seen what people do is after typing dash, they press down arrow key. Please do not press down arrow key, otherwise it will be taken as a formula. Press enter. The moment you put hyphen or dash, press enter. Do not use down arrow key. Yeah. So when you press down arrow key, what happens? We have given one example for Ramesh and the other example for 2 word name, that is hyphen. Now, what I want to do is I will select this entire thing and I can come data, and here there is another version which is flash fill. What I've done, first time it automatically took it. This time I'm going to try something else. I have selected this entire range. I go to data tab and here I have flash fill. So the moment I click on flash fill, see, automatically it populates rest of the results. Yeah. So I'm sure you guys have done it along with me. I'm going ahead with the third option. Now third option is pretty simple. Let me show you the third method of doing the third option, which is last name. Third method is just type Tendulkar. Yeah. Now after typing Tendulkar, just drag it down, double click. When you double click, it got me Tendulkar across the range. I don't want Tendulkar. I want respective names. So I come here in this flash autofill option again that we just now spoke about. I click there and there I have the option of flash fill. I click on that flash fill and see, you get that. Yeah. Now, if you are not able to find this flash fill, there could be 2 reasons. First reason, you are not using Excel 2013. If you are using Excel 2013 or later version, then you should get it. Second reason why you are not getting it is because you have, after dragging, and now I by mistake did something, and now when I'm coming back here, say that autofill option is gone and this is another option that we have. This is nothing but quick access menu. This is not what I'm talking about. So if that is the case, you may have to drag it again and now go to flash fill. So once I have done it, let me delete it and do it again. Otherwise, it doesn't accept generally. Okay. So now what I'm going to do? Drag it. And friends, let me tell you, here you have to drag. You cannot use any other shortcut like Control D or anything else or copy paste. Because if you don't drag it, this autofill option won't come. So in order to get this autofill option, you have only one method, and that is dragging manually using the mouse. Yeah. Now, so far we have learned this, and now we are going to talk about this completely. So let me move on to the next feature, which is even more excellent. So I'm going to show these 2 features, and rest I'm going to leave it to all of you. You guys can try that later. So here, after doing this, I'm moving on to this particular section. Now, in this section, what I would like to extract all these numbers. You see 46459234518557. All these numbers needs to be extracted, and here there is a pattern that all the numbers are between two slash. Yeah, so we need not worry about the slash, but I'm just telling you that there is a pattern in this text. So how do we work with it? It's very simple. 4, 6, 4, 5. Type that, enter. Now because there is a pattern, it is easy for Excel to recognize. So now I'll give you a shortcut which will help you to extract all these numbers. How do we get that? First, I have written this number and now I'm in the second cell. I press Ctrl E, E for English. The moment I press Ctrl E, see, automatically it populates all those numbers here. Yeah, so easy, so simple here. Now, friends, next thing, what I would like to do here, we discussed there is a pattern in the number. What if there is no pattern like this? There is no pattern, but I still would like to extract the numbers. Now here, while doing this exercise, let me remind you of those two rules or suggestions that I gave you in the beginning of this feature. That first thing, try as many examples as possible. Identify different scenarios and use them and give as many examples as possible. These are the two suggestions that I gave you. So let me try the same thing. Now I'm going to do this particular exercise twice so that I can explain how can we go ahead. Yeah, I have this number, so I'm going to type 9924.34. I wrote that number, and now let me try Control E. That didn't work. So let me do again. So my first one was give as many examples as you want. Yeah. Second example, I type 98212. Control E. Again, that doesn't work. Let me give one more example. 803.45. Control E. Perfectly done. So here my strategy was I'm going to give examples as many times as it wants to accept it. Yeah. Now, what if we don't want that? If I want to make it even more shortcut, what I'll do, I'll come here and I'll type 9924.34. Now, I have taken this number. This number appears towards the end of that text. Here, if I type the same number, this is also coming at the end. So Excel might get confused. Let me change the position of the number. So I'll choose an example where the position of the number is different. So I leave that and I go to 803.45. Enter. Right? Now if I press Ctrl E, see, automatically it gets the value. So first method was I gave multiple examples unless and until I get the answer or the correct result. Second case, what did I do? I chose different scenarios or different examples and accordingly I fed the details and I got the result. Now, let me give you a warning. Do not blindly accept the result with a large data, because often I have seen that here, if you take the example, yeah, for the first initial values, it is working perfectly fine, but down below, after 100 through, there were some changes in the format of the sentences, and based on this artificial intelligence calculated a different thing altogether. That problem I have seen. So you need to cross check the values that you have got it for all or not. But it's not completely unreliable, because let me tell you, I have worked on this with one of the organization. One guy had 5,000 records and he wanted to extract something like this. Yeah. We did it with 5,000 records and it worked perfectly fine. But you need to be a little more careful because you have very little control over the output. Yeah, the reason I'm saying you have little control over the output, when you press Ctrl E, it automatically throws the result. It does not require any kind of logic from you. The only logic that you are applying is giving the examples. That's it. And based on that example, what does it perceive? That's completely a different ball game altogether. Yeah. So friends, I like this feature to the core. You research on FlashFill more so that you get more understanding of this feature. Yeah. This feature was released in 2013 and since then it has been my favorite. Let us talk about one more important feature. Yeah. Now here in this, I'm going to go a little fast because I'm running out of time and it's already 6 o'clock and I've got a lot of things to cover. I have all these blank cells. I want to fill these blank cells with some value. So naturally you will say Control H, that is find and replace is the one. And I'll leave this blank cell and replace it with 0. Let's say my task was to replace all the blank cells with 0. which I did just now, and I click, and it has automatically replaced 4 values. Got it? Now what we want to do here is, after replacing all those values, now I felt that I shouldn't have replaced all these values with 0, I should have replaced them with 100. So naturally you will think, what's the big deal? I press Ctrl H, I type 0 and replace it with 100 and go to replace all. The problem is, it has replaced every 0 that it encountered, wherein I wanted only these zeros which are the only ones in the cell. Yeah. So this is a major problem that I have seen with most of the people, that they blindly go ahead and do find and replace. Never do that. What do we do in that case? Control H. I want to find 0, replace with 100, and now I'll do a Sri Ganesh of this options. Yeah. Many of you would have seen this option plenty of times, but most of you have not bothered to click on that. Yeah. Why am I saying most of you? Based on my experience. I'm sorry if you don't fall in those most of the people. My apologies for that. But I have seen many people don't click on these options until I bring it to their notice. So once I click on options, here I have the simple option match entire cell content, and you click on replace. How simple is it? Why did I choose this particular example in this training program in such a short duration of find and replace, and that to a topic like find and replace? I want to bring it to your notice that the screen that you frequently go to, make sure that you study all those options. We most of the time ignore options, and that's the reason we land into ignorance. Yeah. So whatever screen that you frequently go to, study all those options. Next thing, here I have this entire range. What I want to do here is, I have brand A, B, C, D. What I want here? I want brand A here, brand B here, brand C here, D and E. Whatever is there at the top, I would like to get the value beneath it. What do? Let me select the entire range. Now here, I will not do Control D multiple times. I will not drag it multiple times, because I am a lazy fellow. I do not repeat my work. Yeah. So what do? I select the entire range, and then I will ask Excel to find out all the blank cells for me. Control G. I used a shortcut which is Control G. Make a note of that shortcut. Control G. Then I go to special. Make a note of this step also. Now what do I need? I need blank, and Excel is giving me an option to select blanks. The moment I click OK, see, it's a magic. Excel is working for me. I am not working for Excel. Remember this statement. Make Excel work for you. Don't work for Excel. Now, I have got all these blank cells selected. Now what next? I want this brand A here. Now again this brand A here. I want this brand B to be copied here. So what I'll do, I'll type equal to brand one cell above. Now please don't try this. Let me explain this logic. If I press enter, here brand A has come. If I again manually type equal to above, brand A has come. If I type equal to one cell above, brand B has come. So it is working perfectly fine, but it is against my philosophy of not repeating the work. Yeah. So I have to type equal to above cell again and again. But the logic here is very simple. In this cell, if I get the value above from the above cell, I get that value. In this cell, if I get the value from above cell, I get brand A. Here also, if I get this cell value from the above cell, I get this value. What I'm going to do here is, I'm going to use a simple trick. Equal to one cell above, and instead of pressing enter, I have all these ranges selected. Make sure, if you lose this selection, you will not be able to perform the step that I'm going to do. I have maintained this selection, so you're not allowed to click here. I've seen many people clicking here, and that's the reason they make a mistake. So the step was Control G, special blanks. When I did Control G special blanks, I get this entire range. I type equal to, I directly typed equal to. You're not supposed to click here. Make sure if you lose the selection, you lose the method. One cell above, instead of pressing enter, I press Control enter. And now see, that gives me the perfect solution. Yeah. So that is the method, a shortcut method. Now this is very easy and simple. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do is here, let's talk about this particular feature. Yeah. So I'm moving from blanks to referencing right now. Now, what we are going to learn here, what we need to do is, I would like to get these values. Salary, here I have got all the salaries, and I would like to get these values when it comes to blanks. Here, let's say I want to calculate sum, max, min, average, right? And then count, right? So I would like to get all these values, sum of the salary, maximum salary, minimum salary, average salary, and how many people do we have here. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here, and here I'm going to use first thing, referencing, right? Now remember, when I talk about referencing, here I would like to get for maximum, minimum value and all those stuff. How do I write basic functions? Now basic functions that I do here is, I come to referencing, and this is the entire range that I need to get. So I come to this blanks, and I come here, equal to sum. After doing sum, what I need this entire range, and I select this entire, control shift down, enter. I get that value, which is nothing but 15,53,825. That's a simple function. This is nothing but basic Excel that I'm doing. I type equal to max. I go to referencing, and I type this entire range. So let me do it fast. Min, I come here, control shift down. I type average, referencing, control shift down. Count, A. This time I don't want to count all the salaries, but I want to count the first name. So when I use count, it does not give me the answer. I need to use count A. See, this is count. I need to use count A as an example. And now here, when I talk about count A and count, the difference is, if I'm using a numerical column, I can go ahead and use count function. If I'm using a text column, I have to use count A function, because if I use count, it does not give me the answer, because we have text over there. So I type equal to count A, and I go to referencing, and I select the entire table. Yeah. Now friends, see, the reason I took this basic example is because the next two features that I'm going to show you is going to be used in the next two sessions as well. Yeah. So I'm going to talk about two basic things which you will be needing in the next two sessions. Okay. Now, what I had to do was, I have to go again and again and select the entire range. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, here, instead of selecting the entire range, again and again, I choose to give a name as salary. Let me come here and use name range. Right? Now what I'm going to do is, equal to sum of what? Salary. Maximum of salary. Minimum of salary. Average of salary. See how simple is it to get the value. Count A of, now I have not named first name. So let me go back and name this range as first name. Control shift down, and here I'm going to name it as name. What I'm going to do here, equal to count A. Yeah. So I have done count A name, and see I've got 100 here. Yeah. This is one thing that I have talked about. Now, let us say this name salary that I have given is not good enough. I want April salary, because that salary was nothing but salary for the month of April. What do I do here is, in order to change the name, so this is salary, I don't want it to be salary, I want it April salary. And let's say it may also happen that one guy gets added, right? So how do we increase that range? Let's say 101. one guy Pradeep gets added, and sales, let's say here Pradeep gets 50,000. Yeah. Now I come here. If you think 50,000 less, consider those salaries in dollars. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is blanks. Here you will see that this reference has not changed, and this reference also has not changed. Here I have to go to each cell and manually change that value, that is nothing but I make it 104. Okay, here I make it 104. Yeah. Likewise I can do it, or else you get this autofill tag. You can anytime go ahead and update the formula. Now see what update the formula does here. If you come here, I click here, update formula. I come here, update formula. I come here, update formula. Right? That also I can do. But unfortunately, that feature is not here because we have used name range salary. So what? No big deal. How do I change this name salary? Because see, the advantage of salary is I could go to the referencing sheet and I have given this a name. Right? Now what I need to do is I want to change the name. So in order to change the name of these salaries, I go to formulas tab, name manager, and I go ahead and go to the salary and edit it. Once again, formulas, name manager, go to salary and click on edit. Once you edit, I want to name it as April salary. Sorry, I cannot give space in between. So I type April salary like this. Make sure that this referencing range. Now here we have added a new person. So we can add this new person as the range also. So this is 103. I make it 104 and I click OK and click on OK. Now see here I have given April salary and here I have added this name as well. Both the figures are nothing but the same. So this is nothing but April salary and all these new figures have got added. Why is this not got added? Let me see. Count a name. Okay, name we have not modified. So every name has to be modified. So I have to go here again. This is nothing but name and this is going to be 104. Yeah. Now see. Salary we have modified, but name, this column was in different name. So understand friends, what we did was we clicked here and we selected this entire range. Okay. Next thing. I wanted to do some more exercises here, but I'm skipping that for now. If we have time towards, we'll come back to that. What are we going to do for the time being? Let's insert a sheet. Okay. So how do we insert a sheet? Let me talk about that. Shift F11 is a shortcut. Shift F11. If you're using laptop, you may have to press Shift function F11 or just Shift F11. Just try that. When you press Shift F11, you get new sheet and I want you to copy from employee code to salary, copy that range and paste it in sheet 1. Very simple. Yeah, just copy paste. Create new sheet, copy all these columns and paste it here. Now I'm going to talk about one new feature, and let me tell you, if someone comes to me and says, what is the best feature in Excel? I'd say this feature is the best feature in Excel. Okay. So what is the new feature that we are going to talk about? I mean, I'm not saying the new feature in Excel. This feature was released in 2007, but mostly underutilized or unknown feature. Okay. So let me explore. But I don't like this color and I would like to change the color of this entire table dynamically. But first of all, I would like to remove the color. Now, most of the time I have seen people when they remove the color, how do they remove the color? They come here and go to home or format options and here they choose no fill color. Okay. Then they go to no border. Then they go to no font color and something like that. They keep doing it. If you want to remove the color or formatting from the entire table, the simplest thing is Control A. Select the entire range. Go to Home tab. On the extreme right hand side below Auto Sum. Do you see this extreme right hand side below Auto Sum? There is an option which says clear. Yeah. So what you need to do is take a look at this. This is nothing but clear, and there is an option clear. Don't choose clear all. Select clear format. When I click on clear formats, see every color gets removed. Yeah. See how quickly I removed the color. It removes all different kinds of formatting. If this was the case, I went to clear all formats. The moment I clicked on clear all formats, it cleared all formats, and you will be surprised to see even date format has been removed. Yeah. In order to get that date format back, if you're using desktop, do not use the next shortcut that I'm going to talk about. Do not use the number from the numeric keypad on the right hand side. For laptop, you have got only 1 3. The shortcut is Control Shift 3. See, automatically it was number. I can press Control Shift 3 and automatically it has come here. Okay. Now, I have removed the color and I have removed the formatting and got the formatting back for higher date. So this is my simple data as of now. What I'm going to do? I'm going to create a table. There are 3 ways of creating table in Excel. First thing is home format as table. Most of you would have used this feature, but you would have used it for giving color. Yeah, it's not color. It's a very big feature in Excel, and this is one of the best feature in Excel. You must have also noticed this feature insert table right next to pivot table, but you would have used it in Word and PowerPoint, not in Excel. Or the shortcut here is Control T. When you press Control T here, automatically it selects the entire table range. You click OK. The moment you click OK, it automatically gets the color. Yeah. See, I have removed the color and I got the color back. You can change the color by going to design here. You won't see table design, but you will only see design. When you go to design tab, here you get different colors, and one of those colors you can pick up and choose any of those. See, let's take a look at this one. Yeah. So I click on this color and see, after giving color, I can even name this entire table. You remember name range? We had to select the entire column before we go ahead and name it. But now what I'm going to do is I am just going to select one single cell and I am in design tab. Remember, I am in design tab, and after going to design tab, here there is an option. I'm not typing the name here in this box. I'm typing the name here under table name. What do I do here? I come here and name it as data. Now see, what is the advantage of this table? See, I really rushed in previous 2 features, but here I'm going to go a little slow because this is extremely useful and extremely important. So I have named it as data. After naming it as data, let me go back to blanks, and here I'm going to write the same functions again. So see here, table, I'm going to write equal to sum. Sum of what? That table. What is the name of the table? Data. Do you see data is coming here? Earlier it wasn't there, but now it is coming here. Now, I don't want the sum of entire data table, but just the column salary. How do I do that? I press the square bracket. Now, this square bracket is on the right hand side of P. P for parrot. Yeah. So on the right hand side of P, there is a square bracket. You got to use that square bracket. Once you use that square bracket, there you get the list on the right hand side. Do check this list. Yeah. When you check this list, here is the salary. I select that salary and close the square bracket. Make sure the moment you select the column header, you got to close the salary bracket. Now close the normal bracket. When you go ahead and click on sum of data and salary, press enter. See, it automatically gives you that figure. Now, let's say I type maximum equal to max, again data, salary. How simple is it? Equal to minimum, data, salary, equal to average, data. Now friends, I have been selecting salary, but remember I have other fields also to choose from. I'm not choosing them because the example is not relevant to that. Otherwise, the formulas would be very difficult. I have chosen very basic and simple formula. I have not chosen any complicated formula minded. So here, when I talk about average, here is nothing but data, and we go ahead and select salary again. I go ahead and type count A. Now this time, if you remember, when I was typing the name range formula, I had to stop, go back to the data, name the column, and then come back here to complete the formula. Now there is no need because we have data table. So this is nothing but table data, and the moment I open the square bracket, I don't need to go back to first name. First name is right here. I select that first name, square bracket close, normal bracket close, enter. So friends, understand that we have multiple functions that can be used with this table. What is this? What is so unique about this table? Because see here, I was very much comfortable with this particular approach. I just had to select the name. Even if I had to go back to the data and create the name, I have to do it only once. Why would I go ahead and create a table? Because in that I have to write table name first and then the column name. See, once you get the habit of this table, you won't find this writing two things cumbersome. That is the table name and the column name. But what is the advantage? See here, if I create 10 columns in name range, I have to go back to the data and make the changes there. Here, I have to create table once, and all if that table has got plenty of columns, I will have to create table only once. And then I can choose these columns as per I need. See, many times I've seen people when they have to search for column, they go left and right to look for that particular column. There was a lady, she had 137 columns, and half of the time when she was writing the formula, she would spend most of the time in looking for the column only. But now what, after learning about this table feature, all she has to do is just remember the few initials, and she has been working with those tables consistently, and that's the reason she remembers the initial words. So if you want department, just type D and it filters the list. If you want branch, type B, it filters the list. The data is very simple, so one initial is helping you to filter, but if you talk about bigger data, you may have to type more initials to get the list. But see, this is how the table thing works, and it's extremely useful. Let me also once again tell you the power of this table. You remember we added one field here, and in that what we did here, that is we added one particular record in our data. So let me add one more record. Let's say 102 Prashant, and let's say I am putting him in sales, and his salary is 1 lakh. Okay, so I have selected 1 lakh. Now this is the highest figure in my table. The moment I press enter, see here, it automatically picked up the formula, right? So here it is showing 1 lakh. Now let me go back once again with referencing, add Prashant here, 102 Prashant sales 1. In both these columns, it does not get auto updated, but here the data got auto updated. That is the brilliant feature, friends. Remember, your data, your file that you are working on has got multiple formulas written in multiple sheet. Yeah. If you have used either referencing or name range, and if the source gets updated, you'll have to go to each sheet, find the cells where the formulas are written, and update all of them. Yeah, that is applicable in this case. If you talk about name range, you don't have to find the formulas in different sheets, but you will have to ensure that you go to formulas tab, name manager, and update each and every name. If you forget one name, it is going to give you wrong values. What you got to do in table? Just add the value and relax. Excel is working for you. You're not working for Excel. You just add the value and relax. Let me do 2 or 3 things. Let me add these data here. Yeah. And now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to add, multiply it with 10%. Yeah. So these values are now going ahead and getting multiplied to 10%. So highest value that we have is 2,85,311. Yeah. That is the highest value. So what I did, I randomly copied some values and pasted it here. Now when I go back to blank, see these values are getting updated. Highest value is 2,85,311. Yeah. So remember friends, your job here is to copy paste and here is to update. Here, if you write the formula like this, copy paste. If you write the formula like this, update. Your choice. Yeah, but I would like you to make this as a choice. Yeah, let's go ahead. So remember, this table is very useful feature. I am not covering in detail, but I have covered almost 80% of the table feature. Just explore the rest of the features. It's extremely useful. Yeah, and if you remember, when I was doing word training program, I also showed one more feature here. I clicked here, we went to design and we discussed about total row. That is nothing but the same feature. Yeah, when we were doing word, that time I showed this feature, table feature. So that's very useful and unique feature. Now friends, let us talk about this particular feature again. Now I'm going to talk about pivot table report. Most of you would be working with pivot table report, no big deal for you all. So since all of you are working with pivot table reports, let me show you some features that you would be interested in. I am not very good with pivot table report and I really hate creating reports. So if you're using Excel and if your Excel is of Office 365 version, then you have a good news. Click on this data and then when you go to home, there is a new command which says ideas. Do you all see this ideas? This is nothing but a new feature in Excel Office 365 version or Microsoft 365. All you have to do is make sure that your laptop should be connected to the internet connection when you're using later on. Click one of these cells, go to ideas and wait. Now see what is it doing? Automatically it is giving you all these figures, right? Department wise average salary. Here it is saying salary has an outlier higher date 13th November and 6th Jan and 6th Jan 98. So on these dates we have hired people with higher salaries. So it is saying outlier. Yeah. And here you will see the frequency of salary and all those different reports that you have. All those reports can be easily created using this ideas. Okay. Now let me show this with another set of data. And there is an interesting data I have, which is nothing but Sachin data. So this data belongs to Sachin Tendulkar. If you see this entire data, I would like to generate some insights on this data. Now, what I'm going to do is here, if you see this data, I click on home and I go to ideas. The moment I click on ideas, it is going to generate some insights. And this is the real data of Sachin Tendulkar. So let's see what ideas that does it generate. Okay. Now here it says strike rate by runs. This is not very useful. But here it has given us a number of balls he has faced against each country. Now you can see dismissal caught has noticeably higher sixes. That means when Sachin was trying to hit, he got caught. Most of the time when he was in the matches when he hit more sixes, he was also catch out in those matches. This insights has identified that positions 4s and 2s have noticeably higher runs. So here we have got 2 runs. Now similarly I've got 35 different records. Here you can see that here ODI has got more sixes. So he has hit more sixes in ODI. And let me show you one more thing. You can even ask questions. If there is some insight that is not available, what you can do is you can simply go ahead and ask questions. Total runs against Pakistan and Australia in pie chart. See, or now I select column chart automatically. Now, highest runs against Sri Lanka. Highest runs against Sri Lanka, it is 203 is the highest runs that he has scored against Sri Lanka. Yeah. So likewise friends, you can even ask questions in your ideas section and it throws the answers. Yeah. So this way you've got a lot of things that you can do. One more thing that I wanted to show, let me open the previous file. Yeah, this is the file. Okay. So now if you take a look at this, so actually I wanted to go beyond these topics, but time is running out. So let me go ahead and talk about this lookup. Okay. Now when we talk about lookup, that is nothing but we want to discuss about Vlookup. So here is nothing but lookup, Vlookup that I want to do. So this is the data that I would like to look up and this is the column where I want to do lookup. Yeah. So this is the table where I would like to get the salaries of all the people depending on their employee code. So most of you would know VLOOKUP, but in my experience, if I do not do VLOOKUP and pivot table report, people think that the training is incomplete. So I'm just discussing simple VLOOKUP, and then I'm going to talk about few things that we can do, which we are not going to discuss today, but we can do. So I talk about VLOOKUP. Here now, how will you do VLOOKUP? So first thing, remember, you do VLOOKUP or you do any other function. We just now learned one brilliant feature, that is table. Using table, how do you do VLOOKUP? Let's learn that. I create this as table, control T, and here I'm going to type our data lookup. As you know that we cannot give a space in between, and this is a table array, so I click control T and I name it as tab array. So I come here and I name it as tab array and I type equal to VLOOKUP. So that table is now named as tab array. And now I'm going to type equal to VLOOKUP. Now, what is my lookup value here? Now, since I'm using table, let's learn how do we write lookup functions in table. Yeah. So here it is my lookup value, which is nothing but this particular cell. Yeah. So as you can see, it does not refer to A8 anymore, but it is referring to that cell as @EMP code. @ is important. Why? Because when you talk about @ here, that means it's in the same row. So because it's in the same row, we have to write equal to VLOOKUP in the bracket type square bracket @ employee code. And I did not type it, it automatically picked up when I clicked this cell. Now I press comma. What is my table name? Tab array. Okay. So this is the value that I am looking for, and this is the value where I need to look up. Now, here, if you know why VLOOKUP is used, I am looking for this particular value and I want to get the incentive of that person from this table. So that's the reason I'm going ahead and I did EMP code, and here I've written table array. Okay. Now what is the column number? That is 3. Right now just understand how am I doing, and then I'll explain for the people those who do not know what is VLOOKUP, I'll explain that later. Comma 0. Yeah. Now when I press enter and see how does it work, automatically it copied the formula in the entire column. Now let me explain why did I choose equal to VLOOKUP. My exercise was to get these incentives based on these employee codes in the other table. So how do we get it? This is nothing but my employee codes. Based on that, I would like to pick up all the incentives that these people are getting. So that's the reason I have used the function as VLOOKUP. Here when I talked about VLOOKUP, I have used employee code, which is this employee code. So I am looking for employee code number 18's value. Where am I looking? In the table array. So where is my table array? Table array is here. In this table, I'm trying to find employee code number 18, which does not exist. Since employee code number 18 does not exist, Excel has returned #NA. Now, let's talk about other situation, that is here employee code number 30 is available here. So, employee code number 30 is nothing but 3000. Yeah. How does Excel calculate this 3000? So, employee code number 30 is being looked for, and where is it being looked for? In this range. So, this is nothing but employee code number 30. Here, we are going to talk about employee code number 30, which is nothing but 3000. Yeah. So, when we look for employee code number 30 here, we found it in this row. Now, the second thing in VLOOKUP was the column number. If you see the column number, I have written column number 3. Why did I write column number 3? That is because when I go to tab array, here there is column number 3 has all the values, which is nothing but incentive. So, I have written column number 3. And the last part was 0. 0 means exact match. Why do we put exact match? Is because when we put range lookup as 0, that means we are looking for exact 30. We are looking for exact 17. We are looking for exact 10. All these values we get. Yeah. So that's nothing but exact match. Now I have to explain why do we have to put 0 here, and what if we don't put 0? What else can we put here? Let me talk about one thing. So I have another table here, which is salary, grade, and all the range values and grade values, correct? So if the employee is getting salary between 0 to 10,000, I want to give class 4, 10 to 20, class 3, 20 to 30, class 2, 30 to 40, class 1, 40 and above, A grade. This can also be utilized because there are some teachers who are attending this training program. For them, if you nowadays you don't give marks but you do give grades. Now grade depends on 0 to 35 C grade, 35 to 60 C plus or something, whatever grades are. You don't have to give specific value grade, but range of value you have to specify that as a grade. So above 90 A plus. Yeah. So that is nothing but different ranges that you have created, and accordingly you have to give the grades. I have seen some people writing complicated if function, if within if within if within if. What do we do here? I create Control T, enter. Now what are these? If the person is getting salary between 0 to 10,000, it should be classified as class 4. 10 to 20,000, class 3. 20 to 30, class 2. 30 to 40, class 1. How do we get this? So I have selected this table, Control T. Now I have to go to Design tab here. And on the left hand side, I have to type grade. Okay. Now what do we do here? I go to this option. I type equal to Vlookup. Select this, comma. When I go to select salary here, what I need here is I need the grade. Now I have already named the table as grade. So this is nothing but grade that I have created. Now after I have created grade, comma, what is the column number? Column number is 2. Yeah. Now after I talk about column number 2, what do I need? I need the range, that is 1. Okay. So after I have given range as 1, I close the bracket, and the moment I press enter, now see, this is also a table feature which I missed explaining it earlier. The moment you press enter, it automatically calculates the value. So what have I done, friends? I have created this table and given the grades next to it, and I just wrote a simple VLOOKUP function. And what that VLOOKUP did, automatically it populated all the values here. So see here, this is value which is 24,500, which should be in class 2. 24,000 falls between 20 to 30,000, which is nothing but class 2. Yeah. So likewise, we have done VLOOKUP. Okay. Now friends, one thing that we would like to do, let us say there are certain cases and situations. Now here, in those situations, our values may not be on the left hand side. We cannot do that VLOOKUP. Our values could be, I may have to enter some column here. Then what happens? It does not give me the answer. Okay. So here it is coming, the answers are coming, but those answers are from this column, but not this column. Okay, let me add one more column here. See, if I disturb the structure, the value is lost. If I am looking for 18 here, sorry, let's talk about 30 here. Now this 30 is there, and here I'm looking for this another 30. This 30 is text and that 30 is number. Still there is no match. So there are some restrictions in VLOOKUP. Answer to those features are nothing but there is a new function which is equal to XLOOKUP. Right? So friends, tomorrow let me tell you what are features are we going to talk about. Here I have discussed very basic raw features. The objective of this training program was to talk about this table feature. If you're working on Excel, if you're repeatedly working on Excel and there are a lot of repetitions, you spend a lot of time in Excel, then tomorrow's session is going to be extremely helpful for you. Why is it going to be extremely helpful? That is because tomorrow we are going to learn about automation in Excel. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to keep very limited topic because tomorrow's session is very important and it is very useful. If you know VLOOKUP, you don't need to use VLOOKUP. If you know if function, you don't need to use if function. If you spend the time in recreating the reports again and again, and if that report takes, let's say, 1 hour, 2 hour, or even a day, now with this new feature, which is Power Query, you can click on a button and automatically you will get that feature done. Now let me tell you, this Power Query is a new feature which is available from Excel 2010. But Excel 2010 and 13 does not have it available. You have to go to this website, download query. Okay. The moment you type download Power Query, the first link that you get is this Microsoft website. Let me also put it in the chat. And I'm going to write an email to you, and in that email you will see the link, because if you are using Excel 2010 or 13, you will have to download this Power Query. Yeah, so I'm putting it in the chat here. Now, second thing, for Excel 2016, it is inbuilt. It is already available in your system. Yeah. And for Excel 365, Office 365 version of Excel, Power Query is already there for you. I think you can directly go ahead and use Power Query. It's very useful feature, and tomorrow's session is a must because there are a lot of things that we are going to do. So friends, Prashant is now sending you the link of feedback, and I'm going to take up few questions which I have not answered. But let me tell you, today's feature, I have focused on Vlookup, pivot table, and the basic functions and formula. Yeah, table is one of the extremely important features that you must know how to use it, because that's the one which can be used with any other feature that exists in Excel. Yeah, it makes your data completely dynamic. And let me talk about certain feature, how to use macro. Friend, let me tell you, if you know Power Query, you don't need to use macro for most of the work. I'm not saying macro is completely redundant, it is still useful, but for selective use, and this session I won't be able to discuss about macro. Instead of hyphen, can we use another option? Yeah, you can use space, but I would still recommend use hyphen and then remove it, because that is how Excel understands. How do I change the numbers to words? Changing the numbers to word, that feature is still not available in Excel. You have to use macro. I'm unable to do flash fill first time. Is there a place where flash fill feature has to be enabled? No, flash fill is enabled. You don't have to enable anywhere. Just try that feature once again and I'm sure you will get it. What does match case do in options when you do find and replace? Match case means capital and small letter. So like this Mumbai has capital N, and if I type another Mumbai which has smaller case M. So these two are not the same for match case. How to convert date from format from 10.2.2020? That's a very important question. Let me show that to you on the screen. This gentleman has asked a question and let me quickly do it. See, the date is, let's say 1.4. I'll do it 01. And this is mostly the SAP user, they get the date in this format 01.04.2020. Sorry, let me do it this way. 8 month. This will be quicker here. So 01 and drag it till 30. Okay. Now see, I am getting all ones. How do I change it? Flash this autofill option, fill series. What I'm going to do is 4, drag it 2020. I drag it. Yeah. So if you remember, when I was doing the training in Word or PowerPoint, I tried this feature. I want date. Yeah. So most of the date is 1.4.2020. Okay. If you remember that email address thing, I quickly got it like this. How did I do it? This is nothing but flash fill. I typed 1.4.2020 and press Ctrl E, and automatically you get this 1.4.2020. Okay. Now see, I don't want this, and this gentleman is asking the question that he has the dates in this format. There are dots in between. How to convert this into a proper date? See, generally most of the people, they do find and replace, but find and replace has a very serious glitch. You may land up in trouble at times. That's the reason I don't recommend, and we do not have enough time to speak on that particular feature. So I'm quickly going to talk about a very simple feature, data. Select the column, then we need to go to data tab. You need to go to text to columns, and when we go to text to columns, friends, here what is the next thing that we have to do is we select delimited, next, next. Now here, what do you need to do? Here your date format is in DDMMYY. It's not MDY. Look for the date which is beyond 12 and look and see the format of that date. If it is DDMMYY, you have to check DDMMYY. If it is MMDDYY, you have to check MMDDYY. In this step, it doesn't matter whether your system is on DDMMYY or MDY. Actually, date is a very lengthy topic. I generally in my training program take at least 30 to 40 minutes only to talk about date. So here, if your date format after 12th of the month, if you see if it is DDMMYY, so make sure that you select that respective thing, select DMY and click on finish and see when you expand, automatically you get the date. Yeah. So friends, that is the way you can go ahead and change the date into proper format. Then the next question that we have is, if later on, if the referencing name is removed, then will the formula still exiting if used? Okay, if you're changing the name, automatically in the formula the sheet name changes, so you don't have to go back and check the formulas again. Will clear all formats remove all the formulas if there are any? No, removing the formatting does not clear the formula. Does clear format also if we import the data from Word file or any other file other than Excel? See, clear format is there in Excel, and it does. There are different features in Excel and PowerPoint to clear the formats that I have not spoken about. What if I want to give different color to rows on the basis of zone, like north, red, west, green, south, blue? For that, I cannot talk about that feature, but for that you have to use conditional formatting. This gentleman is asking, what if we want to give different colors based on different zones or different criteria? So you have to use conditional formatting. How did you name the table? Was the same like you selected salary column and named it salary? No. When we create a table, you have to press Ctrl T, and once you press Ctrl T, after that this design tab opens up, and here you have to add the table name. Yeah. So that is how you have to do it. Friends, that were the questions that we had, and Prashant will share the link to attend Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai's session online at 5:30, the same way that you have been doing. Tomorrow, I'm going to send you an email which will have the link to attend Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai's session, which is going to be on 1st of May. So if you have registered, please do check your spam folder or junk folder just in case if mail has landed there. Yeah. Once again, let me request you to go to our YouTube channel and do subscribe to our channel and connect with me on LinkedIn. That's it for now, friends. For those who have not been receiving my practice files, please re-register. I'll send you the registration link once again. You can re-register using your personal email addresses, and I will approve all those personal email addresses. Yeah. So I'm sharing this link in the question and answer panel. Yeah. So this is the form. Please re-register in this form using your personal email address, those who are not receiving practice files. Yeah. So friends, that's it from our side. Thank you very much. Hope to see you all tomorrow also. We have 5 more sessions to go, and let me tell you, those 5 sessions will be very useful for most of the Excel users, those who use extensively in Excel, and those who aspire to look for Power BI session or upgrade themselves to Power BI. For them, the next 3 sessions are extremely important. Tomorrow we have dynamic arrays. Dynamic array is a new feature which can transform the way you write formula. Yeah. So tomorrow also we are going to start at exactly 5:30. That's it from my side. Thank you very much.